welcome to Pitch BrandTalk. I'm Simran Sabharwal. If were to look at the Tata Group, one of its standout performers has been Titan. And within Titan, it's the jewellery division that leads the charge. So whether it is Tanishq, Garrett Lane, Zoya, and of course, probably the youngest brand in the business over there, Mia by Tanishq. And today I have with me Ajay Maurya. He's the head category and marketing at Mia by Tanishq. Ajay, hi.
Hi, Simran.
Ajay, I just want to start off with the partnership and sponsorship which Mia by Tanishq has done with the Hornbill Festival, very well known in Nagaland. So why this partnership?
It's an interesting one, and I think the brand Mia by Tanishq always stands for the expression of the young women of our country. And when we talk about expression, when we talk about style, when we talk about adornment, no better place than Nagaland in our country, where women are very fashion forward, and the kind of styling, the kind of expression that they have for the kind of fashion that they put along, I think is second to none. Hence, we thought that if we really want to be the brand which is for making women of every corner of our country be able to express themselves, and perhaps also stand as a pedestal for the brand to come across as an inclusive and at the same time a brand which stands for fashion and expression, I thought this was a win-win situation for us. At the same time, we also realized that there's a lot of cultural heritage that Nagaland has to offer. While the angle of fashion itself is there, but when we as a brand also want to stand for culture curation, I think it is very important to take into account how these cultural heritages can be brought in a modern avatar and can be presented to the rest of the country, that there is something very interesting and unique from every part of our country. And hence we felt no other better place to associate with the number one music festival in our country, which is perhaps drumming in the heartland of Nagaland, and then perhaps use that as a pedestal and do conversations in the rest of the country. So there were multiple reasons, and three of them stood out to be these, which were a clear go ahead for us that we should not even blink an eye and perhaps get our brand to be seen not only just as one time association, but perhaps stay for the cause of culture curation and try to not only uh, get the brand be visible in such places, but also get retail presence in the near future as well.
You mentioned the word culture curation and you mentioned inclusivity. Now, Mia by Tanishq is also known to be diverse, inclusive, which you just covered. But, you've positioned as a new age jewelry brand uh, for the working woman, or rather as a workwear brand. So, how did this positioning help with your association when it comes to new age women working brand?
When the brand started in the year 2011-12, the whole idea was that there is a segment of women who want to adorn jewelry in their daily work routines. And the number of women coming into the workforce was significantly, in fact, galloping at a very brisk pace during that time, and which is perhaps even today happening with the same pace that we were seeing, perhaps even at a higher pace at this point of time. But these women have also now tried to speak to themselves and perhaps uh, forming a different expression in their life stages, which is not just limited to their daily routine. The same woman who is extremely confident, wants to express themselves, has multiple occasions when she can adorn a jewelry. While we started with the thought of that it is only for office wears, but I think now we are very proud to associate ourselves as life jewelry. When I say life jewelry, it is about the same woman, the same young woman who wants to express herself, but Can we give her the freedom to express herself at multiple occasions? Can we give her the freedom to express with these fine jewelry pieces, not only for workplace, but also at times when she feels that she needs to be expressing herself and expressing her fashion to the best possible manner? Hence, it is the space that we are talking about now, slowly and gradually, not leaving the space of everyday wear, but light and fine jewelry, but also giving ourselves a slightly more broader positioning, which is called as life jewelry.
So is it LIGHT or LIFE? Because
LIFE.
LIFE, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. It is LIFE.
you Now, see, when you speak about music festivals, the last 1 year, 1.5 years, there's been an explosion of festivals in India, whether it's Indian artists and, like also festivals like Hornbill, sorry, and also international artists. Now, this has provided brands such as yourself an opportunity to associate with themselves. Experiential marketing has really taken off in the last 1.5 years. So, what is the kind of activation and branding opportunities that you deploy at the festival? If you can tell us a little about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, as I said in my previous answer itself, that the whole idea was that we need to get this association. The drums of Nagaland beating in Nagaland have to be heard in the rest of the country. And that
Okay.
was our whole idea. So, in fact, we had deployed a very good machinery of content generation from the event, which is through a set of influencers who are from the state of Nagaland. These four women, extremely fashionable. One of them is a lead guitarist and the best guitarist, I would say, in the whole of Northeast. Then we had a biking enthusiast influencer, extremely high on fashion, how she can adorn jewelry while she is pursuing her passion of biking. One of them is the lead singer in one of the bands from Nagaland itself. And one of them is the well known MC of the Nagaland Hornbill Festival. So when we associate with all four of them, they gave us the hands and legs to take the jewelry that we had to adorn on them, and perhaps the language of Mia. I think some of the work that we did on our social media and some of the work that we did through one of some of our installations that we had done during the festivals, and showing that how youngsters can associate with us, can interact with us. Perhaps the idea was not to generate sales at all at that point of time, but the whole idea was that how do we get visible among people of Nagaland who even don't know what currently Mia is. And hand on heart, there is very less awareness of the brand in that region. Hence, this is also an opportunity for us. So, putting up an installation during that festival, when the youth of the state is coming and seeing that installation itself is a media for people to get awareness about the brand. And then if you have influencers from the same state who are so popular and they are talking about the brand, we not only tick the box of getting our ideas or communication get through to the heartland of Northeast, but very happy to share we got a lot of love and a lot of accolades across the country when these influencers, when they were extremely stylist and very good in the skills that they do. It's not just that they are good fashionable faces, but they're extremely skilled in their art as well. And when they were able to pull the art and the fashion together, I think the combination was extremely solid, and the rest of the country vibed to it saying, wow, this is the kind of fashion, this is the kind of expression that a brand like Mia only can put. So I think,
So, yeah, please go
yeah,
ahead.
the machinery is on ground installations and the association that we had and our presence during the festival and our brand logo being visible at all the occasions, at all the important spotlights was something which we had at the time of the festival. And then a lot of machinery which was deployed from a PR point of view and social media. And to a certain extent, we got a good amount of print coverage as well. I think that spread the message loud and clear to everybody. Why? What is Mia by Tanishq doing at Hornbill? And lastly, we were also quite thrilled to launch a series of pendants which are inspired from the whole aspect of culture and expression of state of Nagaland. Four unique designs launched during that festival, which were inaugurated on third day of the festival itself, where that night was called as the Mia Night. And during that
Nice.
night, Shamla and her team, including me, we were there at the festival where we launched these pendants, and it was an immediate hit.
Nice. So this was more of a brand building proposition
Yeah.
from Mia by Tanishq's end. Now, you spoke about content, storytelling, digital activation, digital. So, what was the kind of traction, if you can share with us? Because I'm also like, when you talk about activations, particularly, it's very difficult to get ROI on them. So, how do you kind of calculate, the ROI? Because when it comes to your digital aspect of it, you do get some of the metrics. So, if you could share that, what were the kind of metrics that you saw? And what was the kind of, attraction that you also saw from your activation?
Brand building exercises are always long-term exercises, like you rightly mentioned.
Correct.
And in fact, this is an activity which will generate a lot of brand love, and brand love is perhaps immeasurable at times, and it is always a long-term asset that you develop by doing associations like this. But to the business mind, the number and metrics are extremely important, and we also had some metrics for us. I'm very happy to share that the engagement rates and the number of followers on our social media page, I think, were on an all-time high, and we increased our follower base by more than 15,000 within a span of 4 or 5 days of Hornbill Festival itself. So people started watching our content, and the engagement rates that we were getting on each of our posts, in each of our posts and reels that we were doing, was nothing less than 6 to 7%. And 6 to 7% in today's time is a very good engagement rate on your
Correct.
organic without boosting them. And then when it comes to the PR articles, not even a single association in the entire of Northeast we had missed, and we had got a lot of organic coverage on multiple digital platforms, and somewhere in many cases on print platforms as well, which was organically picked up. And lastly, if I have to say, there is a lot of inquiries now coming in for opening up a store in Dimapur, which is in Nagaland, where many people asked us the big question: when are you opening your next store in Dimapur? So I think that itself was a good segue for us to see that there are people who are actually thinking about having a lot of business and sales coming from Dimapur.
So, when are you opening your store in Dimapur?
Oh, very soon, very soon. As we say that the work is on going on full throttle, and very soon after finding right property and right partner, we should be opening a Mia store in Dimapur.
Now, I just want to come to the overall kind of marketing strategy of Mia by Tanishq in terms of your media channels. So please correct me if I'm wrong, but digital makes up is probably the biggest proportion of your things, followed by traditional media. So what is the role? How do you see this evolving now going ahead? And what will be the role of experiential marketing, such as these tie-up when it comes to music festival for Mia going ahead? Will you be looking to more music festivals, youth engagement? Overall, how is your media mix going to evolve now?
I think one thing which will remain constant in whatever we do is the thrust towards digital media, which we
Sure.
are quite confident about. And when I say digital media has to play multiple roles. While at one end, it has to generate a lot of awareness about Mia, the brand itself. While we know Mia is a sub brand of Tanishq, and while Tanishq as the mother brand has a huge popularity, and still Mia brand has to go some more distance when it can establish itself as a firmer brand as compared to its mother brand Tanishq. So I would say when we have to speak to a younger audience, and when most of their time Perhaps why a younger audience? In fact, every audience today is spending 4 to 6 hours every day on digital platforms. So why not be present there when they are themselves engaging on a lot of things on those platforms? So the task of the brand perhaps will remain to continue to generate awareness about it. And at the same time, for a brand which is growing leaps and bounds, how do we generate buyer growth in our stores on a like to like basis? That will be one of the important agendas of digital marketing when it comes to DigiLocal, whether it is about Omni, or whether it is about generating leads from our website traffic that we get, because a lot of business is happening on ground channels. So the digital medium has to form a segue between how people interact with the brand on the on the online platforms, and how do they finally convert to sales on the channels that are available on ground through our stores. So I think that is where digital today has evolved to a significant level, that it is not just limiting itself to creating awareness and leading people to engage with the brand, but it is also giving a lot of tools and freedom to now measure your sales which are happening through your stores. So I think that is where it will continue. To answer your question on activations perhaps will continue to do the job of generating brand love, and such associations on music, perhaps, as I said in my first answer itself, will be a stepping stone to many more that are going to come. And a brand which is truly associating itself with culture curation, music will be a very important element. And if music combined with fashion and expression, then it is like icing on the cake. Hence, I think that is where the brand will definitely go in the future.
Now, you spoke about Nagaland and the Northeast. A lot of brands have now increasingly shifted to having a regional first, kind of marketing strategy. So, with this, would Mia also be focusing on a regional first marketing strategy across the country?
As I said, Mia brand is still a sub brand of Tanishq, and when it is
Sure.
standing for the jewelry for young women and young working women who want to adorn themselves for all the lifestyle and fashionability, I think largely our play will be a national play where we will try to
Okay.
get the best fashion for them. At the same breath, will there be some interspersion of some kind of regional connection, or I would say that some kind, I would not use the word regional connection, I would call it as India pride, because today's youth is perhaps far more connected to the roots as perhaps their earlier generations were. And they want that connection to their roots, whether it is to the nation, whether it is to their subcultures that they have been living up with. In that respect, how can we give them those offerings, perhaps in a much more modern, and I would rather say it the Mia way. I think
Okay.
that would be the idea, so that it beautifully integrates with the design language of the brand, yet at the same time, it is very much connected to what the youth of our country today wants. And more and more, we are realizing that youth of our country today is looking for a connection back to their roots.
Sure. Now, the other question which I had is, you spoke about on-ground digital also driving traffic to stores, but you also entered omni-channel is the other thing which you spoke about. But Mia also has its own app. So how is that performing in terms of sales and all that? And I also know that you're also in quick commerce because I believe you also jumped onto the Diwali gold coin backbagging with the quick commerce platforms. So how is that percentage? Where's in terms of sales, where are you seeing, how is it split between on ground and online?
A brand like Mia, which is agile and meant for youth, has to also execute many things with that agility and the freshness of that youth. Hence, channels like QCom, quick commerce, marketplace e-commerce are a no-brainer. And perhaps when young today, many people want things on a lightning speed to their house. So it was something which was very convenient for a brand like Mia to also come alive with. And hence, going forward, omni, lead gen, and quick commerce are integral elements of the brand growth. At this point of time, very happy to share that our online business is roughly around 10% of the overall business that we do at this
Okay.
in this year, and which is perhaps used to be nowhere close to 2 or 3% maybe a year back, but this is going by leaps and bounds.
So online, you mean quick commerce plus e-commerce plus the app or your own
All
website,
put
right?
together.
All put together. Now, how has the year been for Mia by Tanishq overall?
We have seen almost 9 months go by, and I think we had a fantastic run throughout the year. There were a lot of store additions that happened. Now we are more than 275 plus stores as we speak, and the journey goes on from here on. And Mia by Tanishq now is becoming a very prominent retail destination for the youth of our country to buy jewelry, adorn jewelry. Business has been very good, and we have seen growth upwards of 45% so far. And if things go right, I think we'll be one of the first. Will be the brand which will be crossing the threshold of 2,000 crores this year.
Yeah.
That is how we are seeing this to be. But at this point of time,
FY26.
FY
FY26. Okay.
FY26. So not spilling the beans too much, but uh, keeping our fingers crossed, we are on the right track, and the growth has been really good.
So your biggest markets, if please, is the south, north, or west, and now increased focus will be on northeast because now you have got entryway through through Hornbill and the kind of the kind of PR and the kind of awareness that this association has generated. So is that which are your biggest markets? If I'm not wrong, will it be south followed by west and north?
There is the biggest market for us is north.
Okay.
Northern part of our country is our biggest market, followed by south, followed by west, and then finally east. And I think there is there are pockets of growth which is coming from different parts of the country, but in totality, north and south lead the way for us in terms of business growth, and even in the terms of size of the business that they deliver.
And
And
now, sorry, please continue.
yeah, and talking to you about Northeast, yes, we do have stores in Guwahati. We have 4 stores in Guwahati, perhaps one store in Meghalaya as well. And very soon, as I said, we'll be looking to open more stores across other states of Northeast region of our country.
But that's seven sisters plus one brother, which is Sikkim. So there is a lot of area for growth over
Sikkim, we
there for
already
you
have a
then.
store. The brother already has
Sikkim,
a store.
okay.
So the sisters also have to have more stores now.
Yeah. Now, finally, what is looking ahead? What can we expect from Mia in terms of your marketing? Are you looking to up your marketing spends next year? In terms of stock out, where do you see FY26 ending? And, next year, what are your targets? What are your plans looking ahead? Say FY27. Yeah, or
All I
in
can say at this point of time is that we have quite aggressive plans for next year. And when I say aggressive plans, they're really aggressive because this segment is really blooming and blooming like how everyday jewelry, fine jewelry is somewhere which is the future, because as and when we see more and more women adorning themselves rather than keeping jewelry in their lockers now, I think, and it is being also easy on their pockets, something which can be done on a day-to-day basis transactions rather than thinking about it as an investment. I think this segment itself is going to bloom, and the kind of plans that we have as we speak, we are also finalizing our annual operating plans for next year and what are the kind of investments that are required. But if the passion is quite intense, then definitely the marketing investment that will follow will also be quite significant. So that is, with that respect, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of generating the brand love. And as much as we speak about a lot of work that we will also do in increasing our digital presence across the full funnel marketing approach that we have, so that we are able to make consumers be aware, consider us, and then finally purchase us as well.
The conversion is the last funnel conversion is what the focus will be. But my
No, it
final
is, I'm saying full funnel conversion will be our focus.
funnel conversions, the like you mentioned, spreading the awareness of the brand and then gradually
Consideration and then finally conversion.
coming down the funnel. My last question is, as a marketer, you are within the Tata Group, one of the largest conglomerates in the country, across which operates across multiple industries, and you are also within the Titan Group. So I want to ask you, what as a marketer, what are some of the learnings or cross learnings that you have learned from within Titan or from within the larger Tata Group, and something that worked you stood out, or in terms of marketing, or any innovation that you've seen that you've learned about or taken back?
I think the one of the biggest things which I feel uh, what defines the journey of a marketeer in Titan company especially is customer obsession.
Yeah.
I think many organizations will talk about customer centricity, but this is one organization, this is one marketing conglomerate where in Titan, all of us, right from top to bottom, are customer obsessed. We firmly believe that we need to give that customer the kind of experience that is unmatchable, which is perhaps once a customer comes, he becomes your lifetime customer. While there will be efforts that will be required to get your customer to your fold, but once that customer is in your stores, is in your brand consideration, then he should be your customer not for this generation but for the next generations to come. And that is where I think what we are taught is that even if a customer comes to your store and doesn't buy anything and walks with an empty hand, doesn't matter. But what he should carry with him as a sense of smile. He should have a smile in his eyes. He should have a tinker in his eyes, a smile on his lips. And that is what will define that definitely one day he or she will come back, because the experience that you gave it to him or her, that will make them come back. So I think that is something which keeps us on our toes, that how do we make our customer really feel great about the products, services, and experience that we give from our stores and from. I think this is something which I carry with me very innately, and something which drives me every day when I think about anything related to marketing.
Thank you so much, Ajay. It was lovely chatting with you.